All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Track Feedback on Saturday, August 6th. Coming in first is an example of the mastering on House Volume 1. Here's some work from Pivclit. First 30 seconds are my pre-master mix. Let me push up the level. My broadcast level, right? Hey, John Madison here. Wait, this is too good. Okay, so what you're gonna hear is about a minute of music. The first half is my pre-master mix where I did the best mix I could and left headroom for mastering. Then halfway through, you're gonna hear the track shift into the mastered version, and it's amazing. Piv says, on the House compilation, listen to it 100 times and still not tired of it. Crazy. So Randy got tracks from you, Shepherds, AFL, Mr. Melvis, Matt Schultz, Put Away the Electribe. Okay, so let's just listen to this. Now I have the broadcast level up. I'm not going to touch the level on my faders. Just listen to what this track does. Do you hear what just happened right there? Oh my God. I want to go through that one more time. The high end comes up, it gets louder, the low end gets deeper. Right here. It's like... and the double bumps. I know that's my track, but it still makes me happy to hear that stuff. So Pivclit, amazing work. This reminds me of like if you see the person you love across the room surrounded by a bunch of people in a bar or something with their clothes on. That's like your pre-master mix. And then all of a sudden the mastering engineer comes in, snaps their fingers, everybody else disappears. It's you and your favorite person, and they're naked and their body goes and like they mush against your whole face. That's my mental image for that. Seriously, it feels like the music got closer. It feels like we were far away and then we just went like zoop and got closer, and it was bigger and wider and more detail on everything and louder, and just so many good things happening on there. So hearing a much more of an S on my voice than usual, which I don't like. I moved my mic position a little bit, and whatever, that doesn't matter. So let's go through some tracks. I think I got everything from Discord today. And I'm going to close that tab. DJ Waters is not here. I'm not sure if we should start with DJ Waters. Let's save DJ Waters. Check out version 3 AFL. Okay, we're looking for that bass note on the 4th bar. I got my other monitor closer so I can see the changelog a lot easier while I'm watching this. All right, those beats come in nice. I like that note, drop the main synth 2 dB, cut the low end out of the synth, EQing 3K range, that's all good. Matt Schultz, I think we are live. Are you seeing the stream? Everybody else seeing the stream? Because I'm seeing it on my feedback, my monitor screen. And John, some of this mid-range. That area like 800, 900 hertz. Feels kind of big. Let me just go back here. This is not something that we see on the spectrum, but I'm hearing it as like big. Not the pluck sound, but like the overall synth thing. Okay, we got Matt back. I'm not sure, something in the instrument group feels a little too big. The beats are sounding tight. Especially that snare. Let's check mono. Works in mono. Yeah, from like 800 to 1,000. Morton, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you yesterday. Okay, let's look at the range of that vocal sample. I think it'll help to take some of the lows out of that vocal even more. Yeah, the part that's under 200 hertz in the vocal, when that first came in over here, it felt too deep and muddy, kind of. The low end of the vocal is like overlapping with the mid-range of the synths, and the low end of the vocal is not really important for what the vocal is doing. So, back to the beat. I like that lead synth buzz. Bassline sounds good. There's 3, 4, right there. That's great. That bassline is so good right now, I don't even notice. That was definitely the right change to make. It stays deep, and then the cycle starts over. This is cool right here. Something about the synth group is a little too big, and oh, that ride is nice. I like the pluck. I like the reverb and delay on the pluck effects. So, okay, the drum mix is great. The low end is really cool. The bass line, the notes you fixed from last week are awesome, and I like the way the kick and the bass are together. For the most part, what I would do is take the instruments and that vocal thing, work with them as a stereo group, and pay attention to that lower, like the middle of the mid-range, from 700 up to like 1,000 or a little above 1,000. Something in there is getting kind of built up with a few too many sounds, or kind of this like resonant pressure in that area. Let me go back and dip that out and just show you a before and after. I'm gonna cut around 900. Flat, cut. I'm not even boosting, just cutting and flat. Now I'm gonna boost. Like when I do this EQ cut around 1,000, it feels like less likely to that's the frequency I'm feeling inside my ears getting a little bit too much. This is a flat EQ and EQ cut. That feels kind of easier to listen to when I remove that middle section. And with too much of it, it's not the same thing as a fire alarm or like, it's not like that screechy ear piercing S kind of thing, but it's more like a middle tone distortion thing. So anyway, I'm not being critical of your track. I'm trying to point out how I hear the frequencies and find places to dip it down to make it just like smoother overall. And probably what's happening is it's a combination of all those instruments together. So what you don't want to do is don't go in and solo each instrument and try to EQ them one by one. This is definitely a case where it's the combination in the mix that's getting a little weird. So take all your instruments and put them into a stereo group with routing, and then use some EQ on the stereo group. Like take a parametric EQ, boost 1,000 hertz, sweep it up and down, find a place where it feels like that, and then cut it out like Shepard said, like 3-4 dB, wide Q equals 1.5 or 3 or something like that. And then do a little dance and bring it back on Wednesday. Did we hear this whole track already? I feel like I got lost in it. I like the feel and that melodic thing. That's what gets stuck in your head right here. And back in the beat. So the track is going to be great. Nice deep groove. It's got something memorable about it, and the plucks are like popping. Great note from Piv. Possibly a problem with your studio. Maybe your room might actually be somehow sucking out that mid-range area, and you're overcompensating by having too much of that in your mix because you can't hear it in your room. Could be that kind of a thing. That's a weird thing. Okay, so that's basically just some mid-range notes on that. Otherwise, that track is feeling good. Structure's great. Main thing is we had music theory last week and talked about the bass note and the importance of having the bass do a harmonic cycle. And that one change took the track from being like up to like, oh my gosh, I want to play this track. So that's that. All right, who is here that's with us right now? I'm not sure Tim Laws is on with us. We've got the Sheps. Is Ben Hunt here? We've got Happy Birthday Blender. Mr. Melvis. And we're going to wrap it up with DJ Waters, who's out at a festival. See this picture of a bright yellow thing with smoke under it? That's actually a picture of DJ Waters' brain right now. Getting a brain stem. That's a picture of enlightenment, by the way. All right, let's check it out with Randy Adams and noise gate on my mic. Okay, here we go. Solid right away. Here's me with the broadcast level. I'm going to leave it right here. Yes. Possibly we're going to have some low-end notes on the rhythm. I hear it like doom ba doo doo doom doom ba doo ba doo ba doom. Great intro. That one little sound. Wait, did the beat just go inside out? That was a cool sound. Got the hi-hat layers building up. That's good. That little sound that goes, "Bah, bah." I love those sounds. They're so memorable and so distinct. And that's the perfect sound to use when you're mixing in a track and sneaking it in. In a DJ set, I would cut the low, cut the high, leave the mid-range up, and sneak in that one little sound as like the message of this track is coming. All right, and then the next sound comes in. Okay, so for the low end, I can hear that there's a lot of bumps happening, but I'm not sure of exactly how many there are or what the key rhythm is. It feels like do 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 do. I'd like to hear if there's a separate bass note isolated from the kick drum or how you're creating the low end combination. Okay, right there. Okay, so Randy, this part could get cleaned up a little bit. Try to get some of the sub out of this bass part, because that note... Whoa. That totally took me away. I'm not going to talk over that build-up, because that was crazy cool. I'm really glad we got the bass line by itself. The bass line is doing the secondary pressure in between the kick drum, so the kick is straight, and the bass... Boop, 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 doo, doo, doo. What I would actually do is take this bass thing and boost it up above 100. So go to your kick drum, take down 70 hertz, go to the place in the bass line, boost up like 110 and that 70 hertz, and then on your sub bass, take out that part below 60 hertz and try to like really get the kick and the drum, the kick drum and the bass line hitting their own rhythm. So the bass line is like really doom, booda doom, boom, like coming in between. And then the low end will have just a little bit more of like a clear pulse instead of like boop, 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 boop. Now let's listen to this filter sweep effect thing. Right here. That's an amazing sound design moment. I like that a lot. Don't change anything on that. That was perfect. I like this organ a lot. Yes, man. Structure, layering, sounds really, really good. I like that clap. Let's just dip into mono here. Stereo. It sounds perfect right now. I mean, the stereo field. Yes. Yeah, those chords, right? That whispery voice is really cool. In fact, I think the whisper vocal can be louder. Yeah, Matt, I agree. This track doesn't need very much at all. The layering is great. It's interesting sounds. The sounds are changing. There's melody and harmony, but they're not all at the same time, so it feels very connected. Like I'm just going with the music. Look, 4.5 minutes, totally into it. I'm gonna cut my low EQ right here. That's a boost around 150. So you can have a bass line up above 100 hertz feeling really big and give you that low end pressure to make the low rhythm in between the kick drum bumps, and it would still work. That drum break right there, wait. That drum break is great. Okay, so that organ synth is overlapping the vocal a bit. I'd like the vocal a little bit louder, please, because it's whispery and cool, and the high frequency part has so much detail. It's really interesting. I was trying to turn up the vocal to the volume I want, and the organ got in the way. So that means those two are not quite in the right balance, and I think you could just bring the vocal up. Plus, it's really unique. And maybe the organ could have a little bit of an EQ down at 570, 580. Right there around that 600, maybe a little bit. Shepard is a little panning on the mid synth. Oh, Matt, you like the vocal, okay. That cymbal is nice. Totally solid in the deep house vibe with a little more energy than deep house, so tech house, yeah. Randy, I knew you would say that. All right, nice ending. I hear one little clip on a beat loop that there's a beat loop that has the end is not trimmed exactly. It's like right here at the end. Maybe you could trim the end of that loop a little bit to get there's like the beginning of the attack of the next hit coming in, and it sounds like the loop is not trimmed. Right there. I don't know if that matters to you. Little detail I noticed from the sampler days. But Randy, great track. Claps for that for sure. So does anybody else have low-end observations on that one? This is a track where the overall low end kind of works, and it sounds to me like listening to this track in the mix sounds like being in a room with the subwoofer where the bass is not treated, and the room itself is being like boop, 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 boop. And that's okay. People hear music like that all the time. Mainly if the rhythm of the bass line could get a little more defined, so we hear the kick, feel the bass line punch. That's my opinion on that. Oliver, personally like that. Are you talking about the low end? Yeah, so okay, so there's some space to debate how to do the low end. And then in general, the vocals could come up a little bit. In mastering, you could probably manage the EQ for mid-range and possibly, bring up the volume of the mids and the highs compared to the lows. So really cool vibe though. What I like the best about it is that all the different sounds enter and leave at a nice time. So it always feels like one continuous smooth piece of music, and it doesn't feel like too many ideas at once or two sounds fighting for space or anything like that. So that's super cool. Nice job, Randy. And always, your tracks always feel like they're coming from the same late night mix set, which is a really good thing to have for your own style. So let's get it into, you know what? It was Mindbender's birthday. And I think this track might fit Randy's vibe a little bit better. And then we'll go to Shepard's. Oh, Oliver, you're talking about the sample trim. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that you can notice where the sample is like, tick, 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 and that's not like going to kill the track or anything. I heard it as something that maybe you could pay attention to, maybe not. And as always, I have my creative opinions on what I would do. So with Randy's tracks, he doesn't really need creative help very much because the vibe is all there. So let's keep going. Mindbender, Back Home. Let me check the changelog. Whoa, coming in with a kick drum. That low end is proper. So this is a master coming from the stems, more bottom end, not so sharp, 3 to 4 kilohertz, a little more automation, some live EQ tweaks. That's what I love about Mindbender tracks. All right, first off, the low end is sounding beautiful. Going up. I like this effect thing going on. It's like that kind of a feel, like. Yeah, Randy, bring that back on Wednesday. That one's gonna be done soon. And we want to get you on one of the Mixotexture compilations or releases with some of your music, please. Right here. Hey, Jester. I hear a difference. That last week it was like the mid-range was a lot bigger. Now it's more comfortable. Bang. Yes. Oh my God, totally. Ooh, that hi-hat. Yes, man. I'm giving it the big D already. Check mono. That's me on the mono. One more time, mono. Yeah, mid-range is beautiful, low end is solid. Oh, I forgot about this part. This is Mindbender right here. I'm in the groove, man. Here we go again. Give us the drop. This is great. 5 minutes in, totally still with it. At this point, we're just having a listening session. I got nothing to add. Finger puppets. Ooh, the mix out just came in. Little bit of an acid chug at the end there. Chugga, 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 chugga. Listen to that reverb. Ticka-ta, ticka-ta, ticka-ta. One more time. Mindbender. Where did you come up with this shit? It sounds like ice falling in a cavern. And then he gets you with the kick drum. That is an enjoyable track. I thought I knew Mindbender music, but that was even more Mindbender than usual, if possible. Really cool, man. That one is done, definitely, for sure. And let us know where we can buy it and support When Disco Goes Wrong, the record label. Because that track got some legs on it, as they say. All right, Robotics 1.1. Shepherds, get yourself ready, everybody. EQ flat, stereo wide. Here we go. Ah, yes. I'm gonna check my change log. Okay, some EQ on the lead. Worked on the brakes, mini brakes, low end boost. Some automation. Good notes. Good. Everything in the mix is sounding good for me right now. That was new. I like that. A steep low pass filter on here. 16K, is that SoundCloud? so tight, great mix. Totally agree. The rhythm is great. Wait. I was just saying that rhythm, like dung chaka dung, so good. And then we get this break. Those are really creative. I like it. I think you're going in a good direction with those. I like that clap. This is cool. Pitch shift. Yeah. Oh, solid. Ooh. Yeah. That was like a chorus, like a deep chorus. One more time. This is really interesting. These are great. All those edits are working really well. And these off rhythms. I really like how I can hear the new hi-hat come in. Keeps the energy up when it arrives. Whoa. Let's go through that again. For a second there, I felt like we went to a live set where a DJ was testing a new record to come in. The new sound was like quieter and more round, and the big kick was missing. Okay, here we are at level. There's that hi-hat. Here comes the other percussion layer. I like that backwards beat, and then right here, okay. I'm gonna try cutting low shelf. Flat. I think in this part a low cut would be good. And maybe don't try to have so much bass right here. And then at 434, bring the bass back. For me, that would make it more like a breakdown, which would be okay. So from 414 to 4, I got the low shelf cut right now. Yeah, we can focus on the ear candy, the high frequencies, the rhythm up top. We don't need that low pulse at the bottom. Now the clap comes in, and when the pew pew comes in, bow, 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 bow. So from 414 to 434, cut out the sub bass, I think. Try it and see how it feels for you. It's not terrible the way it is, but you guys, if I take off my shirt and put X's on my nipples with tape, clear. I don't love that sound. That one sound for me, I don't personally like it. I don't think you should change it because it fits with the track, but for me, it's not the kind of sound I look for. I like how the beats keep changing. Let me go back to one little moment. This beat right here. Right here. Right here. Like at 610. Chicka, 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 chicka. Yeah, detune the cymbal. That was good. Man, there's so many details in here. Brain fried. Already bounced the audio. Yeah, Shepherds. Don't worry about it. That sound is like a personal thing for me. For you in the track, it works okay. This sound is cool too. It's like... Is there anything not automated in this track? Beautiful, Shepherds. So much good detail in there. I want to hear that 6-minute place again. At least 90%. And what did I react to? Right around here? Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's like a tone in there that I don't love, but whatever. I think this is what this one is done to me, Shepherds. What do you what else are you planning to do with it? Like all the adjustments you made in the changelog felt perfect, like kind of like not noticeable. I sort of forget what we commented on last time because there were just like not problems. Yeah, that spike. Yeah. It comes in like 2.58, 4.38. Yeah, just in that part. I mean, that's a tiny detail, and I wouldn't worry about it. It's not going to wreck the track or anything. Just that was the only thing I noticed in the whole piece of music that I wanted to comment on changing. And it's kind of a sound design question, which can be very personal for people of like, someone likes that sound and someone else is like, oh, it's a... So nice work. And also this 140 BPM stuff just takes me straight to I say it every time, it's really relaxing. Like when there's just that kick drum going doo, 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 doo. I find that so relaxing. I don't know how to explain it. Shepard is not sure if you're going to go this route again with that many percussion elements. Well, to tell you the truth, it actually felt simple. I mean, the percussion is changing a lot, which is what I liked. There's places where like a hi-hat comes in and it's like, ooh, just a little tick, like doom, tick, 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 makes it really feel fresh. and then it disappears and something else changes with the ride. So for me, the percussion was good. And more than just percussion, it's like the overall track has this like really chugga kind of rhythm. And the layers are what make that happen. Combination of synth rhythm and percussion rhythm. So, oh, you said normally I have 4. These are 11 elements. 11 is okay. Maybe 12 is too much, but 11 is good. So let's slow it down a little bit and go to Dreamland V2B, the B2 V2, Mr. Melvis. All right, let me just check. EQs are flat. Stereo width is on. Let's drop the Melvis sauce on our Saturday. Oh yeah, this sound. Todd, you still here? I'm gonna leave my master level here. Let's find out how loud the beat drops. Sounds like that synth came down a little bit, right? Yeah, man. Let me just take this down a little bit.
He's so lonely.
Check my changelog.
Needs my company.
That little tambourine. A little bit of high frequency in the sweep and the cymbal thing right there.
Dances slowly with me and calms me like the sea.
Okay, volume on the kick drum notes. That's
Tells me
right.
about his broken dreams, 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 dreams.
Good notes on the
Says
changelog.
he wishes he met me back then. Things were more simple. Things were more carefree.
All right, good. Let's check mono.
Things were more. Things were more. Things were more.
It's a really good decision with that chorus synth out.
Things were more.
Especially-
Carefree.
And this is hard to do, that the music is matching what the lyrics are saying. So she's saying things are more carefree, things are more simple, things are more carefree. And what happened? A synth layer dropped out to make the music more simple.
Things were more simple. Things were more carefree.
I like that that's a good edit, taking out that synth layer right there.
Things were more. Things were more.
Good vocal effects.
Things were more. Things were more carefree.
That's good ear candy.
Things were more.
Watch out for that 2.3K boost
Things were
or
more
peak right there.
carefree.
I like the effects on the vocal a lot. Yeah, low end is sounding good. And now
He's so lonely.
now like the chorus vocals came back after a little break. So it feels like familiar but not over too much of it. .63 and 3.1K. A little bit too peaky in that sweep sound.
Tells me about his broken dreams, 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 dreams.
Got the big hand clap.
Says he wishes he met me back then. Things were more simple. Things were more carefree.
That is a heavy backbeat. Bang.
Things were more. Things were more
Maybe like cut out the drum beat right here
Things were more,
at 3:30.
things were more.
Let it hang with the vocals and stuff. And then 3:41, bring the drum beat back in. Could be a good thing to have just the drums drop out for like 8 bars. This is a cool like danceable track at a low tempo. Here we go. That's a good effect. So the kick drum sounds good. Right here. Boom, 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 boom. I like what you did with the beat loop to get that ghost note. What I want to check one more time is how the bass line combines with just the ghost note in the kick drum. I know that's super detailed, but rhythmically, let's make sure we don't have too much. Okay, we're gonna listen to bass line and kick drum rhythm. Boom, boom, doo 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 doo. Where's my synth part? Got lost for a second there. What I'm wondering is, are the bass notes exactly on the rhythm with the ghost kick? What we should feel like is the ghost kick is just completely synchronizing with the bass notes. So Piv, what are you saying? The kick is extra loud every time the pattern restarts. Would love it if the rest of the kicks came more up. Yeah, we were talking about how to have, in the last time we commented, it was like there was so many kick drum beats that it was like the ghost kicks in between were not actually ghosts. They were just full on boom, 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 boom. And we also have a pretty heavy bass line that's doing a rhythm that's mimicking the. So instead of getting super technical on how to do this, for everybody out there in producer land and Mr. Melvis, the goal you want to get to is a really tight synchronized rhythm between your kick drum and your bass guitar sound or your bass line sound. So if you have a bass doing a fast rhythm, boom, 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 then have whatever those micro timing rhythms are exactly the same. I would even take, like if I had a kick drum as MIDI notes and bass line as audio, I would put them in the timeline, look at them and warp one thing, like either warp the audio to micro shift the audio position of the notes, or take the MIDI notes, take them off the grid and just micro timing shift them so that the bass and the kick drum are just synced. Or if you want to just do it the easy way, right click, do extract groove, and then apply the groove to the other one. So they're just totally in sync. And then once you have them in sync, it's a lot easier to tell if they're having overlapping frequencies, because if they're playing exactly the same time, maybe you don't need so much low end in one or the other. Got to factor in possible phase problems, all this kind of shit happens. But when you get to the end result, you just get that bubbling feel in the rhythm where it's like doom taka chakung, doom taka chakung, and it feels natural and smooth and simple. Off the top of my head, I would say you could probably lose some low end out of the bass line, let the kick drum have the bottom, and use the ghost notes for the bumps on the bottom. The bass line will amplify, well, not amplify. The bass line will reinforce the rhythm, and it'll all be synchronized and locked in. So you're definitely on the right path. I'm being super detailed about hearing stuff like, like we're talking about micro timing. It's small stuff, and it can make the mix just feel tighter and work better. You know, these are the places to improve in details if you want to go to V2-C or maybe V3A or Valentine's Day. I don't know. So, Mr. Melvis, let me know if you have any questions on that. We can chat in Discord on it. And overall, the progress on your music is just amazing. I can hear a little of the Mindbender effect with some of the acid synths, and the low end is like beautiful. Beat programming, you got really like away from loops and more into individual sounds, which makes it sound more like fresh all the time. It doesn't sound like a stale loop. We're not gonna have V2D, okay? And I like the way the lead vocal sounds. I didn't have any problems with that. Right there. Some of those effect sweeps have a little bit of a high mid kind of shing. Right there, that little sweep that goes through 3000. If that's the last sound you ever hear when a sword is cutting off your head, swing, it's okay, because you just get your head cut off and you never hear it again. But if it's in music, I don't want to hear that sound. How are my analogies today, right? Getting your head cut off by a sword. So high mids, and then fine tune the micro timing on the low end, a little bit of bass EQ. And let us know if that makes sense. Don't tell me if I make sense, because I think I know the answer to that. Only 4 tracks left. I kind of dig it when I have 10 tracks for feedback instead of 20. Feels like I can really enjoy listening to the music, talking about it, catching some comments, and I don't have to like rush as much. Because seriously, like a 3-hour feedback session with 20 tracks is like pretty intense. All right, into the forest. Check if there's any change log. This is version 1.
Who says that all must end?
Interesting. Shepherds, you were commenting on the range around 200 hertz, and I can see that synth has a spike at like 190 something, 196.
Who knows? Who knows?
Vocal does sound great.
Perhaps the flight of the bird you boom remains.
Love the chords, love the sound design, love the deepness.
Perhaps flowers survive caresses in us, in their ground. It isn't the gesture that lasts, but it dresses you again in gold armor. From breast to knees. And the battle was so pure. An angel wears after
20 minutes with this track on repeat. Everybody take a little break. Yeah, Matt, you're the master of this genre right now. Version 1 sounds like a track on an album. Let's check mono.
Who says that all must end? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
That's me doing mono stereo.
Perhaps the flight of the bird you boom remains. And perhaps flowers survive caresses in us, in their ground. It isn't the gesture that matters, but it dresses you again in gold armor, from breasts to knees, and the battle was so pure. An angel wears you after.
I like the high frequency thing that's like. I like the ride cymbal. Sounds like a real metal cymbal. I think that snap could be a little louder.
An angel wears you after.
All I can think of is maybe like in the mastering part, we could compare the kick drum level to a bunch of other stuff in this genre and see if the kick needs to come up or down relative to the whole rest of the mix. Oh, that is nice. It's hard to tell in headphones while I'm talking. The only possible thing is maybe the low end is a little bit too big compared to the details in the mid-range and the high end. So in other words, like I was saying, maybe turn the snaps up. I like the way the snaps are in the mix, so possibly we could just take the whole mix, like mid-range, high end up a little bit, low end down a little bit, maybe.
Who says that all must end? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, Piv, tiny bit of rumble, not too much. Good. Big and wide and feels like floating in butter.
An angel wears you after.
Yeah, Matt, I don't know if I can help you on this one, man. I think it's gonna be done. Let's try an experiment. I'm gonna cut the low end. Just turn this up a bit. Tiny bit of EQ in the mid-range, a little more highs. And now I'm gonna bring the low end back. That's like a 2 or 3 dB low shelf cut. Little high shelf boost. Doing some Soundcraft EQ mastering. I don't think the track needs anything more than that. Beautiful synths, spacey atmosphere, background texture, cool vocal. And that's EQ flat. Yeah, Shepherds, I agree. Minor tweaks and we're done. Fire again? I think you cut off the very, very end of that reverb, my friend. 10 seconds longer on the export. Fatal error. Unplayable. I'm kidding. That's beautiful, man. Analogos version 1 is like 99% done. We're going to give you 0.99 D. Low end, you know, let's do some reference mixing. Give it to somebody who knows how to do mastering. Piv clit. I did a little bit of rough mastering with just a 3-band EQ. And other than that, the vibe is beautiful. Sounds are awesome. Fits the Matt Schultz style. Coming from a good place. And you've been pretty creative with a streak lately. So that's nice to hear. Let's see, we got Ben, DJ Waters, and Tim Laws. Shepherd's Little Bell dip around 194 hertz, and it sounded better on this snippet I recorded for testing. And I think 194 was the chord. There was a chord tone at 194. I don't think that was a kick drum sound. So that's my opinion, and clearly I'm right. Okay, let's check out what Tim Laws has been doing. And Tim, thanks for sending me that photo for the updates on the artist bios. Oh, here we go. Change gears. Back to the club. I should have played this with Randy Adams. All right, we're going for a super low sub, and then the kick drum is kind of a knocking higher range kick in here. Let's see what the changelog has to say. I like those plucks. Bow, bow. All right, Matt, interesting comment about the detuned chords. Before we even get to the chords, I'm really feeling like this super low sub bass thing down in the 40 hertz area is not the right vibe for this track. I would personally let the kick drum be, whoa, huge all the way to the bottom. I would let the kick drum be the whole low end sound, and all these bass growl things. I just cut the low EQ. For me, you only need the upper part of this bass sound. The interesting part of that sound is the filter sweep, the growl, the body of it, and the mids. The part of the sub in here is whoop, whoop. It's a long duration sound, that's the thing. And the kick drum is happening in the middle of it. So you've got kind of a long duration sub pulse and a kick drum happening all in the bottom range. That's what's making me feel like the sub bass frequencies in that bass sound are too much. I feel like I want to pop my ears. Wow. I like those plucks. The detuning doesn't bother me on those. I noticed that there's some detuning, but it doesn't sound wrong. I have a comment here. This voice synth, the one that comes in right there, I would bring that in earlier because the breakdown is a little bit too empty right here. 2, 3, 4. This part, maybe it's because we just heard Matt Schultz, but I feel like it needs some atmospheric background filler to just be like, so maybe this vocal thing that comes in, that vocal synth. It enters at 226. I would maybe bring that sound in sooner during the breakdown part to kind of fill up as a background layer where the little blinky things are coming in and out. I like that ping. That one, 786. I like that sound. It's like a submarine ping or something. Sonar. I like these mid-range bleeps. Okay, those can come up louder. Let me get a time. Right here, 312, that little high melody thing. That needs to come up louder because that's really cool. And it's getting buried underneath the pluck synth. I'd like to hear some reference tracks where there's like a huge sub bass happening in with this tempo kick drum kind of beats, because I hear what you're doing and it sounds cool. I'd like to hear this on a big system with some more other tracks and feel that whoop, whoop. Like house wubs kind of. And I can see they're a lot louder. They're more powerful than the kick drum. So another thing you might do is take the wubs just down a little bit, bring the kick drum level up, and make sure the wubs are getting really sidechained to the kick so they're not happening at the same moment. I like those sounds. Right here, the chord pluck is loud and the little melody thing could be louder. Oh shit. Scratching it up. Drum mix is good. Overall, beats and claps and everything sound perfect. So I'm curious to hear more about the low-end wub theory in this type of music. I don't listen to a lot of bassline house. I know it can work to have the kick drum and the wubs in the low end at the same time. That takes some careful mixing. Anybody else have comments on that wub that we were just listening to? Because here it was big, right? Where did we get that whole wub? Here's a great picture of just the bass line. That sub is huge. I can feel my headphones being like, oh, I can't do it. And then earlier there was a part of just the sub and the kick without the top of the bass line. So what I would do with this sound is split into two layers, where the sub from like 120 down is a whole channel that can get sidechained really hard, and then the upper frequencies from like 200 up, all that stuff can have a really bright, buzzy stereo width to have the growl coming out clearly on top. And then just be careful to mix the kick and sub as one thing, and then the upper bass line growl as part of the instrument group. That's kind of how I would approach this mix. Matt, the whole tune could take a noisy background layer, not too loud, make it a little lo-fi. Yeah, that's what I was feeling right here also in the intro. Let me see if I could get some scratch. Okay, hear this? There's some scratchy layer. Let's just try that. When the kick drum drops out. I don't know. It could work. That's a personal taste to add noise distortion and stuff. We were talking about that with Mindbender, who had that digital distortion, and we were like, I don't know. So, Tim, the breakdowns have a little too much airspace that's too silent, and it's like there's so much room in there to put in a mid-high frequency, scratchy, like a vinyl crackle or ambient noise or something kind of cool to fill up the space. I think it would help. And then the sub-bass frequencies need to get a tighter mix with the kick drum so that the sub and the kick are like both just woof. I think, and I would like to, yeah, I said this before, I'd like to hear some reference mixes of what other music kind of fits this genre so that I don't make a too predictable comment about the kick drum. Coming up, 2 more at 1:15. All right, Ben Hunt. And let me check changelog on here. Referencing Joey Beltram. I think it's Beltram with an M, but whatever. That metal kind of snare thing is a little, the reverb on that and the snare is a little too bright. So maybe the snare reverb could come down, or the dry snare and reverb together come down a little bit. Closed hi-hat could be up a little bit. The snare is like louder than the hi-hat. This bass line could use a little more low end. Maybe just after hearing Tim. Whatever that vocal was, can we have that louder? I couldn't understand it. It was kind of mysterious. That was like a cool little vocal thing. Good groove right here. This middle section of the bass line could come up a little louder. That bass line, that part of the bass could be a little louder. Gonna sweep. I'm right here from like 700 hertz going down. Listen to the bass line. See you later, Jesper. Okay, so I just found a bass line frequency. Let's go back to where the bass was by itself. Now I'm going to boost EQ right here. If you could bring up that bass line, it would be cool, because this is like a nice deep track. Yeah, Ben, this is close to being done. A couple mix tweaks. Structure, sound design, form, all that sounds good. that bottom of the bass line, 150, 200 hertz. And then the synth area, a little less of that, 600, 800 hertz. I love EQing. So fun. Going up. I'm gonna try a little low shelf boost and a little mid-range dip. Take that snare down a little bit, a little more low end. Little high end. I like this mid-range chord too. Yeah, man, this track is doing cool stuff. All the sounds, the progression and development. And that's EQ flat. Yeah, that sounds more mid-rangey for me. Fear good, I heard it that time. Yeah, Ben, basically get the bass line up louder and more present. Vocal sample a tiny bit up a little bit, snare drum down a little bit. Pretty much that's it. In other words, Steve wants more bass and not as much mid. This is a cool track. Anybody else have notes? Shepard's offbeat hat can be more present for techno. Okay. So the ARP might be a little too wide. Did we check in mono? There we go. One more time, let's check mono. Nice ear candy at the end. All right. More ear candy, Ben, dang. That's cool, man. That is a great track. And this bass line. That's awesome. This is going to be a solid track for sure. A little more bass line, maybe a little more kick. Well, I already told you like 5 times. Those are your notes. So bring that back for part 3 on Wednesday or next Saturday. And let's wrap it up with DJ Waters. Before we get there, anybody out there in replay land who is wondering what the hell are we doing? Well, we're doing track feedback. You can join us on patreon.com/mixatexture. Select your membership level. If you just like watching and you think you're getting a lot of tips out of it, I appreciate people signing up for $3 a month. It makes a difference. I only have space for 999,000 more of those, so make sure you get in now. And then the track feedback crew is how you submit your music for feedback. On Discord, we do feedback streams twice a week. Probably will go to 3 times a week in a little while. And this is a limited size of people. I can only take so many tracks per week. I like it when we have 10 or 12, and I can really go through the whole track, listen to the whole thing, feel it, make some comments, review the beginning, compare the ending and the beginning and the middle. It takes time, at least 10 minutes per track, and there is a limit to how many we can do. And if you're willing to submit your tracks, work on them, update them, take criticism, and give other people constructive criticism and tips, then the track feedback crew is where you should do that. We get together on Discord, and it's really a lot of fun, as you can see from the comments. Then we have courses.mixatexture.com, where I'm hosting my Ableton courses. How to EQ your tracks is in production. I'm rebuilding the whole thing to take you through the basic theory and practical hands-on techniques of using EQ. So all day long when you see me sweeping the mid-range, talking about 200 hertz or 3,000 hertz or whatever, this is where you get practical activities to do problem solving in Ableton Live, where I give you sounds that have messed up frequencies, I show you how to fix it, and then you actually fix it using parametric EQ, high pass filter, low pass filter, notch filters, band pass filters. You just get right into it, and we play with tracks, play with sounds inside live. Not only just generic stuff, but like electronic music, right? You don't want to learn how to EQ a jazz vocal. You want to learn how to EQ beats. And that's what this course is all about. So I'll tell you more about that as it comes to be done. Courses.mixatexture.com. And coming up in just 3 weeks at our Bandcamp record label, mixatexture.bandcamp.com, is House Volume 1. It looks like this, and it's going to be up in a couple of weeks. We've been going through the mastering with Pivquit. So that's the exciting news. 3 weeks till House Volume 1. I think the new EQ course will be ready by the end of the month for pre-order to get in and help me beta test and check the new lessons, and then full-blown version a little bit after that, because I'm adding a lot of stuff. How to EQ female vocals, drums, electronic instruments by themselves, sub bass, a whole lesson on that. All separate projects where you learn by doing it inside live. So those are taking some time to build. They're going to be some of the best lessons I've ever made on EQing. Really excited about that. So that's what's going on in the background in between moments of doing track feedback with DJ Waters, who's out at a festival right now, turning his brain into this kind of a mushroom cloud in the most loving way possible. Whoa.
A warning may come quite unexpectedly. We will now tell you what to do if a warning sounds when you are at home. And then we will explain what to do if you are out of door. Take cover at once. If attack is imminent, you will hear the attack sound like this.
Yep. Poor Alan Watts. Wow. I think we're actually at 200, not 100. Wow.
The attack sound.
Okay, so quick note, the kick drum overall feels like it's a lot of low end. Boom, boom, boom. Doesn't feel like a tight, hard kick. So the kick drum layering could use some mixing to get really tight, round, hard kicks and not like a sub whoop. There's the siren.
Take cover at once. Listen to your radio. Stay where you are and keep listening to your radio.
I like
Now,
that
this is
sound.
what you should do if you are out of doors when the warning sounds. Take cover at once when you hear the attack sound.
And so Ian said he knocked out a quick track. I'm not going to go crazy on feedback because this is a rough version. The storyline is flowing though. Yeah, like that snare drum had a lot more crack compared to what the kick drum should be. Like, doo, doo. And then it feels too heavy in the bottom. Okay. I want to hear this sound design. Probably one of our most developed sound designers for stereo imaging.
When the all clear sounds like this, it means that you are safe from attack or fallout for the time being, and that you can go out again. But keep listening for further warning, or to your radio for further advice.
Yeah, apocalyptical. All right, that's going to do it for track feedback this week. DJ Waters, bring that back next time. We want to hear it with another round of kick drums. I know your layering and distortion and kick drum tails and everything can get super detailed. So it sounds like next time you do that mix, it'll be in a brighter, more percussive form. Right now, it feels the low end is like whoa, 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 instead of like doof, boof, boof, boof. And 4 minutes, I could handle 4 minutes. It could be longer than that. So, wow, it's 1:30. Got done a little bit early today. If anybody has any questions, you can find me, steve@mixatexture.com. Underneath the video, you'll see links for the members site and Discord and Patreon where you can get involved and join us. Join us. I'm really looking forward to hearing the masters from House Volume 1. And Shepherds, I believe you're going to, is it true you're going to replace the audio for the video clips? Let me know in Discord on that. The next step for us, we have about 3 weeks left, so we're going to start promoting as a group, promoting video clips, artist photos with bio little things, album cover, story of the album, and I'm aiming to have almost daily posts coming out to lead up to the release so people can get a preview of the sounds, hear what it's all about, meet us, find where this music comes from in the Track Feedback crew, and just get one step closer to the album releasing on August 26th. Which is super exciting. And I really appreciate the group effort from everybody here to give comments, help each other out, do moral support. And, you know, making tracks can be a stressful process. Can be. We all love studio time and making music is fun and relaxing and it's a hobby and we like doing it. But then at the same time, it's like, oh my God, why does this not work? Everybody needs a little support. So I really appreciate y'all being here to hang out with me on Saturdays and Wednesdays. That's it for now. Let me get over to my other app. Any other last comment? I know I'm on a 45-second delay. Maybe it works instantly or I'm looking for the right bit. You're talking about producing? Can be a hit and miss thing. Duck and cover. Yeah, track's too short. All right, everybody. I'll see you in Discord. Have an awesome, fantastic weekend. And that's it for today. Pew!